pretty dark. Like, wish I had more lighting. Oh well. It's best as it gets. Just wait for. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Y'all getting hyped yet? I'm getting hyped. We got one viewer. Left over from last night. How's it going, y'all? Copyright infringement. Shit. So I'm gonna get this one viewer. Shit. I'm gonna be shocked though. The other night, when I was calling one of the games, they were playing music at the field, and during the game, it cut my stream off in Canada and across the world because of the fact that there was a copyright strike for the music playing in the background for Canada. So thanks, Canada, for ruining my live the other day. Anyways, this morning is Turkey Bowl 13. This is the 13th annual game. We're going to be live from Boonesboro, Maryland. It's going to be at about 10 o'clock is when kickoff is. Everybody should be there at 9:30. We're going to give you a little bit of a history of the Turkey Bowl. The Turkey Bowl was first founded in 2007 by my father. We played it. The first game was at Sandy Hook. Was with my Sandy Hook neighborhood where I grew up at down in the southern part of Washington County. We played at Pleasant Valley Elementary School in 2007. The first game we ever played was actually not even tackle. It was touch football. We played touch football. And in that first game, it was a tie. I don't remember who the teams were anymore. We didn't do old versus young back then. We just kind of mixed it up and see who played where. Then it wasn't until the third year that we played. Turkey Bowl 3 was the first one where we went to tackle straight up. Because the first two were all touch football because we were trying not to hurt anybody. It was Thanksgiving morning. Nobody wanted to get hurt. And at the time, we just wanted to have a nice little neighborhood get-together because growing up, I was close to a lot of the kids in my neighborhood. And my dad was close to a lot of their parents. And he thought it would be a great idea for us to come together. Turkey Bowl 3 is when the dynamic changed a little bit. We played a tackle game, and it was the first format where the teams were selected. And it was a more interesting game. It was my father versus his brother. My uncle won in the end. He had a team that beat my dad's team. I played in that game. One of the more physical games we played. I remember I ate dinner, and then I laid down on my bed and never woke up till 11, and I had gone to bed around 3. I missed all Thanksgiving 2009 because of the fact that I was so exhausted from how tiring and physical that game was. One of the best ones ever, Turkey Bowl 3. Unfortunately, no footage existed of that game. In 2010, we moved it to Gaplin Park. If anybody is trying to call in to chime in on the game, please feel free, but message me first. We don't do call-ins on Facebook Live anymore. I do it in a new way now, so just message me if you're interested. Around 2010 is when we changed it up. We moved it to Gaplin Park in Gaplin, Maryland. And that was where we had the first ever old versus young game in 2011. When the old team beat the young team 14-0. That was also the first game, Turkey Bowl 5. The only one I've missed to this day. I didn't play because I had to work a 14-hour shift at Kohl's and Toys R Us that night. So I missed out on that one, but from the way it was told, it was a one-sided beatdown, the old 14-0. The next time they played was a year later. Much closer, 35-28, the old one. They beat them. We were driving late in the game whenever they called it because two of their players got injured. They ran heads. They clashed into each other. And so because of that, they called the game, and we didn't get an opportunity to tie it up. Then about the next year, we played them. Turkey Bowl 7, we lost 56-14. That's the most lopsided game to this day, 56-14. We got our asses stumped. It was not even close. They ran the wing tee to perfection. They gashed us. They slashed us. We dressed about 11. They dressed 11, but they dressed their best 11, and it showed because we did not stand a chance in that game. We got our asses beat, for sure. Turkey Bowl 8, one of the more notable games, played in the snow. That was back in 2014, 5 years ago. I posted that on Facebook earlier. The only one today that we played in the snow, it had snowed the night before, and the field was covered in it. It was muddy, it was sloppy, it was fun. It was a good time. 0-0 was the final of that one. Same for the next year. 7-7 was the score. We had another tie for Turkey Bowl 9, which is to date one of the more controversial Turkey Bowls due to the ending, where two of the players on the opposite side started getting into it, and that led to one threatening to pull out a firearm, and the other one threatening to call the cops, and well, they both called the cops in the end. So the cops showed up, Turkey Bowl was kind of a mess, and I almost didn't do a Turkey Bowl 10. There almost was not a Turkey Bowl 10. I was really upset with how Turkey Bowl 9 went, so we almost didn't do a 10th game, and then in 2016, we relocated from Gaplin to Boonesboro, and ever since then, we've been playing the game at the Boonesboro Police Station at Coach Scott Field. The first one there was 2016 when the old team defeated the young team 49-28. That was the beginning of the run for, ironically enough, Brandon Carasquillo, who was on the old team, would go on a run to start of 3 straight MVPs over the last 3 Turkey Bowls. Multiple touchdowns in each game, 3-4. He's had an absolute fantastic performance. That's one of the bigger storylines today. Can Brandon Carasquillo repeat for the 4th year in a row as Turkey Bowl MVP? He did it in 2016 for the old team. He just happened to be on the team. He tore us up. 3 touchdowns. 2017, Turkey Bowl 11. I got a hold of him for our team. I made sure we got Carasquillo that time. And what happened? We shredded the old team 32-14 behind him and Ant Smith. And then last year, we didn't do old versus young for the first time since 2010. Instead, what we did was Team Diener versus Team Cameron. Team Diener won 36-28. In a game where Team Cameron rallied back. They were actually trailing in that game. It was a blowout. It was 30-7, and then Team Cameron rallied back. They pulled within 2, but then Tyler Spencer sealed it with a game-winning touchdown pass to guess who? Brandon Carasquillo. And that led to both of them be named co-MVP for the game. So T. Spence and Carasquillo are your returning MVPs for this one. Question is, who's going to shine today? Who's going to win? Old versus young. It's the battle of generations. You got the older millennials, the Gen Xers teaming up to face off against the younger millennials and the Gen Yers. So the question is, who is the superior one between the two? Old versus young. Who wins? Find out. 10 a.m. today on Joey Blaze. I'm Joey Blaze, and we'll see you at 10 a.m. for kickoff.